Shall we get started?
We can begin.
We can begin.
Should we roll for it?
All right. So this is for, and I know there are some people, I don't know if they're here right now, who were going to be looking at doing their own kind of within their family. But for the Eckhart Public Library, we said on the message that we sent out, coming to a tabletop near you. Now, don't forget, it's not actually coming to a tabletop that's physical because it's going to be all online. But getting started, so there are the three of us here that are in the group, kind of facilitating it. Myself again, Andrew, Zach, and then Thomas. That's him. So playing Dungeons and Dragons. So who has played Dungeons and Dragons before? Let me know somehow by moving or talking, or I think I can see it. Awesome, cool. So there's nobody who hasn't played.
I haven't.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool, awesome. So just to recap, it's a fantasy role-playing game, usually played on the tabletop. I think it's coming up on 47 years old now. Does that sound right? Goodness. So we'll be focusing on the 5th edition, I believe. People like it because it's a fun game, but it also has a really social aspect to it. Joining in the party, so you join an adventuring party that's usually tasked with the quest. Your dungeon master, the role is to kind of help people along the way, but not necessarily tell them what to do. And so the fun thing that people like to do with D&D is roll dice. So you can have your own dice and stuff there and roll them, or I think we're gonna try something like Roll20 Roll20.net, Roll20, which is a good way to just kind of keep people accountable for rolls, because those can kind of determine what you're doing and such like that. All right, so what kind of goal do you want to have with this? Well, I mean, play a game, have fun, create a group that can work together, that you feel confident with, and then make sure that people know that they can ask questions about what's going on. Do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing a little for the past couple months, kind of testing. I'm not super experienced at it either. Tim, who's on the call, helped us a lot and reintroducing us to the game and getting us more familiar. So we're just, the DM, our role in the beginning especially, is just going to be to create a fun sandbox to play in, right? Just to have we're here to facilitate fun, but we also want to know kind of what you guys want out of a campaign and what type of game you want to play, because there's different things we can emphasize, like combat, or if you want to do more storytelling or interacting with NPCs and stuff. They're all just different kind of vibes we can create. So we're going to send out a follow-up email to this meeting just to kind of give everybody a couple sentences of what are you kind of looking for? What do you kind of like? What inspires you about D&D? And what would be fun to emphasize and what would be less fun to emphasize? So we'll work on that a little bit, but we're excited to kind of get it going. Andy, do you guys want to talk about what you guys all need to get this, to be part of this, since we can't be physically in person?
Yeah, so we're flexible. If people have something that seems to work well, we can try that. What I was thinking is, or what we were thinking is, primarily for voice, we can do Zoom if that works really well for people. Otherwise, we like the idea of having a Discord server. Who's used Discord for anything at all?
Me.
Cool. All right, so what it is, it's kind of like 24/7, it's an app or a program for a computer where you can talk through text, you can talk through voice, you can log off, you can log on, you can just keep it logged on and you'll get notifications. But it's a way that people can just jump in and just have an open kind of voice channel where they can talk and share pictures, share
Memes.
share memes. Sure, you can share memes. but it's a good place that we can, like, if one of us wants to share like a map that we made, like one of us, whoever's leading anything, if we want to share like a sketch or a drawing that we made of something, we can just take a picture of it and post it in the voice chat, and people can go there and see it. So it's nice that way. What else? So do you need to have one of these? Not that. You don't need to have one of these. Okay, cool. This is the player's handbook, but awesome. So if you don't, here's Tim. It's nice to know that the what do they call it? The core rules are something you can get for free. I have a link to that someplace.
Yeah, it's on the on our outline.
Yeah, it's on our document, but we don't have it on there. But you can just search D&D basic rules, and you'll get like a wizards.com link where you can download the D&D basic rules. It's like 150 pages.
We could actually post that in Discord.
Yes. So if we do end up joining on the Discord, that can be posted on there. People can reference it, or a lot of you have the book and such like that as well.
So we have those at the library as well. If anybody ever wants to, if we talked a little bit about D&D Beyond in the emails, the website that has a lot of resources on it. We also got a really cool, and Andy can talk about this a little more, but Wizards of the Coast gave us access to like a ton of resources just because they're trying to support this program at the library. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that and how we can kind of loop you guys in possibly on that?
Yeah, so who's had first of all, who's had any experience with D&D Beyond, the website? Who has had extensive use of D&D Beyond?
Yes.
So I think this is something that I am not sure with. I know that over like the pandemic and such, they have opened up more things to like people that are part of campaigns. I'm not sure how that works. One of the things that we got is a digital club kit, which gave us an ultimate something or other collection. It gave us basically like a code that would usually cost like $600-700 to buy like all the source books, up until not including like the Tasha's.
Aldrin.
Yeah, the guide for everything or whatever it was. There's Tim.
This one.
Yeah.
I was going to be disappointed if you didn't have that, Tim.
So, if you're looking for things that you need, is just internet access. Having a notebook is great. Having at least that basic rules is good. Some time in your day, whenever we end up doing this, we'll talk about that. Willingness to participate, and at times suspend disbelief, not be like, oh, well, I'm going to do this. But then also, so Discord, D&D Beyond, possibly Roll20.net. And then, what did I write here? I can't read my notes. They're typed out too. That's sad. Okay, so also, in terms of when you play, you have your own character. Now you can make your character up. You can get a pre-made character. What we're going to try to do is have like a small basic like kit, I guess, maybe like an envelope with a couple pieces of paper in it that will have like basic characters. Probably start from level 1, something like that, I'm guessing. But we'll have those available. So if somebody doesn't feel confident in making a character by looking at the basic rules, then they can just take this this blueprint, which will be basically everything that they need. It might have a couple pieces of the rules in it, but otherwise, those are things that we'll try to have at the library here for you. Now, you don't have to come in to get that. That can be something that you can pick up on curbside. You can give us a call, and there's an extension for the curbside service so that we can just kind of bring it right out to you. Or it'll just be, we don't know yet if it's going to be at the main desk or the lower level or such like that. What else? Any questions so far? And you can like raise your hand and I'll call on you.
The authority figure.
That's kind of a thing where, so I kind of sometimes like to bounce that off people that are in the group. So for example, if we can get in hopefully we can get in the Discord before too long, and then that's where kind of people can mention what they'd like to have, and then you can listen to that and such. But generally being kind of fairly well-rounded is always a safe bet. And then whoever is DMing can make a good adjustment to that. So like if the group has tons of healing potential and they're just always carrying around band-aids with them, we can adjust to that and such like that.
And there's so much customization potential in D&D that, I mean, even if you had 2 clerics in the same party, you're gonna play those probably pretty differently, and there's so much customization potential but that's also something we can address if we have kind of the group split up and have a good setup when we can talk together. That's a good question. Right. It's a shifting number right now between 8 and 10, and we have a pretty good split between age groups. I think it's pretty even split. So that we're thinking about dividing it up probably based on age. And then we can kind of share and adapt with experience. But there's a couple people who weren't able to make it tonight, and then at least one other was asking to get the recorded version. So, and we can always, if you guys want, we can just we can leave just what we talk about in the recorded version. But yeah, so we're looking probably about 2 groups of 3 to 4 people each.
Thinking about is so when to do this. In the past, when I've played, it's gone on for like 4 hours or so. It could go even longer. It could probably have gone shorter, but like I think with the way that the programming is here, being a library event and such, and we're technically going to be on the clock playing games, which is great. We can't really devote, feasibly like half of a day to killing dragons and stuff like that. So it was kind of put out that it'd probably be somewhere around like I'm going to call it a turbo session of about 2 hours or so. So that's going to be like cutting it down for probably some and such, but I'm sure we can pack a lot into that. So, and then you've got a number there because that's what I have next here, the time. So that stretch of time. Now, the day, thoughts on a day. Is there a good time of day, first off? I don't think it would probably be every week, at least every other week, if not a little bit more. What are you looking? What are the collective you looking for? Like something that is pretty regular. Like, would you rather have every 2 weeks or like twice a month or once a month? If we think 6 to 8, I mean, the first default that I want to say is like Fridays, which usually I'd be like, well, everybody wants to do stuff on, well, maybe. But now also it's like, what are you going to do?
Right.
That might also be a better question once we have the 2 groups split up.
Right.
What I'll probably do is I'll after tonight, probably split up the groups, at least the theoretical groups, into 2 different emails, and then we'll start planning separately with the 2 different groups, and that way we should be a little more nimble with what everybody's looking to do.
So I've got a couple things that I wrote down that I want to make sure that I just talk about, even if it's just to remind me of certain things. So what's different about this situation? Obviously, you're not meeting in person. That also might mean that it's easier to meet since you don't have to go anywhere. If you're unsure about something, make sure to reach out to somebody and ask. Let's see. also as don't know, if you don't know people and stuff like that, that can be a little bit hard to like, I guess, play the way that you want to play and such like that. So I don't think, one of the things as well with Discord is that it's not really a video centered thing as well. So you can just, be comfortable and such like that.
Yeah, we want everybody to have a comfortable space, a fun space, a space they feel like they're okay to, explore this fun game and like use their imaginations. Like that's kind of a big important thing and we'll talk about that later too, but that's that's part of making it a fun experience. So
and as well, we'd like to hear, like, as we get into the first I'm going to call it session and such like that. Anytime that we would meet after this, to play or to start like a session 0 kind of thing, where you're just kind of talking about what the outline for everything, I suppose. I want to. Oh yeah, if you have any ideas and such like that you want to share, things that have worked well for you, things that you don't like, feel free to share those as well. With whether it's through like a Discord like that or in an email to either of us. We have has anything? So nothing has gone out through the gaming email, right? But that was in the emails.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, we
I
have.
don't think so.
No, so we do have a gaming email for Eckhart Public Library. It's just gaming at, and then the epl.lib.in.us, which is really annoying. Okay,
I'll put it.
that's in the chat if you would like to look for that. But that's a good way to just kind of get general messages to either of the three of us. And I'm like hogging the spot here, and Thomas is off to the side. But there are 3 of us here, so.
Thomas is the disembodied voice.
Yeah, if either of you saw remember seeing the video that we made a couple months ago or so, that was Thomas in the DM chair with the hood on, looking all ominous. All right, so what's the next step after this?
In my mind, what we'll probably do is split up the groups initially into the two groups. We'll kind of condense. I'd like to get a just short, clear couple directions on D&D Beyond. Is there anybody? If anybody is having trouble with Discord or doesn't want to use it, just send me an email and we can talk about whether we want to use Zoom or some other tool. But yeah, I'd like to put a little one-pager together. Here's what you might look for on D&D Beyond. Here's how to get on our EPL Discord, and then we can start planning when to have our first initial session. And so be thinking about what kind of character you'd like to play, and then in that email, I'll just ask for a couple sentences on what you ideally would like to do with D&D, why you want to play, what kind of an adventure you would like, and what aspects of that would be cool. I've already got a couple of good responses from people. CJ, I really liked your idea, and getting everybody in, and so you can look through it too if you want to start your own things, and ideally it'll be good to get everybody comfortable, and you can at some other points also move beyond this and be a kind of expert in your own right. So yeah, does anybody have any other questions? Tom, did you want to add anything, or is there anybody have any questions or other concerns before we kind of
We'll do a quick wrap up as well.
wrap it up? It's a little TBD at this point. We were kind of thinking of spinning off some of the campaigns that we created when we were kind of doing this with Tim, and we were kind of starting to build into this world. We're also thinking maybe for our first session with everybody, just doing kind of a one shot and having some stuff ready to go. And we'll just see how it goes and kind of the natural flow and dynamics of everybody. And then from there, we can talk about what each group would kind of want to do if they prefer something more since we've got so much stuff available, there's a lot of options for what we could do. So that's our current plan. We kind of have the one shot and then two kind of different ways on the back burner.
Do you want to do a just quick recap as well for everybody? But that'll also get.
And we're recording a lot of this, so we can send you a copy of this as well, just the stuff we gone over. But yeah, so in sum, look in the next week for an email that will kind of just condense D&D Beyond, our plan for the Discord server. Send us a couple sentences on what you'd like or what inspires you for D&D, what kind of a sandbox you would like to play in, and I'm missing something else.
2 hours every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
I was just saying, just stuff.
Right. Yeah, we're looking to go about every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, maybe longer sometimes, but hopefully about 2 hours bi-weekly. And other than that, thanks for everybody logging on and saying hi. We've been getting excited to do this for quite a while, and it's nice to finally, despite having to make some hybrid adjustments, to finally kind of get this going. So I think it could be something that'll be good. And it'll be fun to see everybody's imaginations work together. So look for that email, and we'll plan our session zeros to get together and kick it off. But I would say like everybody hands in, but it is going to look in all different directions. So all right, well, thanks everybody, and we'll be in touch soon.